Cool. All right. Hey, everybody. Welcome back. Now that we've survived season 2 of The Mandalorian, we've decided to take a look at what's one of the things that's coming next, which is the High Republic. And we'll don't really know what all we're going to watch. We got a couple of reaction things we're going to do, and we'll get into that right after this.
We all know around here,
Fire one up.
does shots first.
It's time for the High Republic.
Sing your love, sing it with me, your love.
I just want to see the Jedi lighting one with his lightsaber. It's like doing that. Just bring it down to lighter levels.
Sounds like something Mace Windu would do. All right, so we're back, and before we get into our topic of this particular episode, we're going to do a couple of unboxings. I know that Gundark has one or two things, and I know I have a couple of things to show. So Gundark, let me turn it over to you.
Yeah, I got a great gift from Greedo for Christmas, a t-shirt in honor of Mandalorian.
Nice.
Kind of with
very cool.
The clan of the clan of the Mudhorn and lasers and everything looks so 1980s, like Return
That
of
is
the
the
Jedi.
Disco Mando.
They didn't show us where the Mando and the child went to the Walmart photo
right.
and posed for a holiday card.
It's like 80s glamour shots.
It is. Yeah.
And then I got for Christmas a new recruit to my clone Baby Yoda army.
Oh.
Let's see if I can get him to. Oh,
that
he's not
Cloda?
functioning.
Uh-oh, he's not responding.
He is not responding. What is wrong with him?
He is from planet Comatose.
There we go.
Oh, wow.
Oh, whoa. That's frightening.
Nice.
Unhighly.
What is he, just like fully remote control?
He looks like Kim Jong-un addressing the masses to me. And we will march upon South Korea. Raise his arm again. All of you will bow.
Oh, that's funny.
When he does the first thing, it
You.
sounds like a machine gun. It's more like force lightning.
Yeah. Oh, I love it. Yeah, I see that. That's hilarious. Now, who's the little bitty Baby Yoda you got back there?
He's on skates.
Is that new?
Yeah. I've had these for a while.
Oh, okay.
My husband picked up these for me.
Oh,
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, I think it's.
Yeah, I just saw those actually this weekend at a store.
But my
first time.
husband
This is pretty
he's built a Baby Yoda army for me. All of these are gifts of my husband.
Okay.
So it's
Very
like, yeah. But that one is the one I got for Christmas. It'll follow you. You can set it on a follow mode where it'll follow you around the room. You can set it on a hide and seek mode where you hide and it will find you.
Okay.
So it does some cool
Oh, that's
stuff.
funny.
And
You
then
gotta hide and it'll
can
find you.
control it with a little.
Okay.
Anybody getting Trilogy of Terror vibes?
Yeah, a little bit. Little
It will
devil
follow
doll.
you.
Oh.
This is going to end with Baby Yoda on the grill. I have a feeling.
Yeah, there are fewer things that creeped me out more when I was a kid than Trilogy of Terror.
Yeah.
And that doll, that literally gave me nightmares.
Yeah, the doll.
That was one of the
episode.
scariest things ever.
So scary and so dumb at the same time.
At the same time, yeah, but when you're like 6, it's
Yeah.
you don't get the dumb part. You just get
No.
it's gonna come
I
attack
just
me.
remember the knife going through the box and her trying to grab it with her fingers.
Oh,
Right,
yeah,
yeah,
yeah.
just
That's
trying
what
to grab
bugs
it
me
like
the
that.
most.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's like, don't do it. Come on.
Yeah.
What is wrong with
Yeah,
you?
who would do that? All right, do you have any unboxings, Greedo?
No, I do not.
Okay.
I unboxed. Didn't realize we were going to do unboxings. We use the term unboxing around here to mean just hold
Yeah,
stuff.
we're not literally unboxing it.
we just
show
we, just,
we have new
there it
stuff.
is.
New merch. New
Yeah.
merchandise.
Yeah, I have a lot of new merchandise from Christmas, thanks to Gundark and
Yeah.
Traitor and others.
Yeah,
But,
I actually wasn't fully prepared for this either. I do have a
actually,
couple of things here, and I've
this hat is a Christmas present, so
Oh,
it's
nice.
kind of a
yeah, that's awesome. Yeah, I see.
Yeah.
That.
40th
cool.
anniversary.
Oh, very cool.
so yeah. I mean, but there's lots of cool stuff, and we'll do our
Yeah, I'll probably show more
long
of it on the next.
overdue
Yeah, I've
Life
got
Day
some of my
special.
stuff upstairs. I didn't bring it down for this because I wasn't actually thinking about doing one of these. But anyway, yeah. So for mine, I've got one is this shirt. So,
Nice.
Yeah.
Oh,
what
that is not. That's a 40th anniversary.
That's a 40th. Yeah.
Is that a Disney exclusive or the Disney?
I'm not sure if it's an
parks?
exclusive, but yeah, Brooke got it for me, so it could be. But yeah, she surprised me with that a couple days ago, and then the other thing I got, which I think I shared with you guys already, was this came in the mail a couple of days
Nice.
ago. This Black Series Luke Skywalker.
Those are fun. Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah, you can set up other figures with them.
yeah, this is really cool, and I like the fact that it's actually like battery operated. It actually
Mhm.
glows like it's the explosions happening. But that was really cool. So those are my things to share for this week. All right, so let's get into this reaction video. First thing we're gonna watch is the High Republic launch trailer. This was actually released 2 days ago on January 4th. We're recording on January 6th. So does everybody have it queued up and ready to go?
Yeah.
Greedo?
Yeah, let me bring it up here. Okay, I'm ready.
All right, everybody's got a black screen.
Yes.
All right, ready in 3, 2, 1, play.
Begin. Lucasfilm, no
We
surprise.
You said
are
that,
the
I thought that was
guardians
awesome.
of peace
Video.
and justice.
Okay,
Beyond the
Wookiee.
stars is a near
Wookiee
endless
Jedi.
frontier.
Echo, echo.
Our
echo,
order
Echo.
was meant to shine its light in even the darkest corners of the galaxy.
The darkest corners.
There, we found an evil that none of us had trained for, that threatens all we know.
Okay, so this is still books and stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I really didn't even know what it was.
It's like the original Jedi Temple.
Mega story.
For the survival of the Republic,
Golden Age of the Jedi.
the fate of all Jedi,
Space
Oh,
horses.
space horse.
Yeah, space
for
horses.
control of the Force
have enough of those.
itself.
Control of the Force itself. Can that be done?
Fighting for control of the force.
Okay.
Okay.
All right. Well, I don't know much more than I did before, I don't think.
All right.
Oh, it's starting over. Stop it. Make it
Yeah.
stop. Stop it. Stop it. Take it.
Okay, so let me just start this little bit of discussion about this by saying that I have zero. I don't know. I can't get excited about this. I guess maybe because there's no visual, meaning there's
Yeah,
no film,
it's-
there's no series, there's not
There's
even
a
an animated
PowerPoint
series.
presentation.
Literally, yeah, it's literally just like, well, here's some books, and the first release they're doing, if I'm not mistaken, is a young adult book. It's like, okay, so they're
Yeah.
really rolling this out. Okay, I don't know. I'm just finding it hard to get excited about this. So this really, I watched the original announcement from California back about a year ago when they first announced this stuff, and I just like meh about the whole thing. I just couldn't seem to get excited about it. So I'm not really
was
sure
that
what you
image,
guys.
That image
Mhm.
they had where showed it was going to be a multimedia rollout. What kind of? It looked like there were Marvel comic books, novels, and
Right.
what else? Were there games?
Well, there's novels. I don't know if there's a game. I know the only thing I've heard about are the comics, the young adults, and the regular novels.
See, that's all I thought that it was going to be. But it
And then
looked
the
like
only
from the
other-
end of that, it was more media than that.
Could be. I mean, and it could be.
Yeah, there was like 5 or 6 things listed. I don't
Yeah.
know.
And keep in mind, they also mentioned High Republic when they talked about the Acolyte, one of the other excuse me, one of the series that they announced
Oh
is that it
yeah,
takes place during the end
During
of
the
the High
time period.
Republic. So,
yeah.
so that's obviously something that we'll get. You know, I don't know if it's going to be focused on that aspect of it, but we'll see. So okay, so that is what that
I
was.
I definitely probably gonna look at what books are out there
Sure. I mean, I'll look at it and see what it is. I'm not
and
saying I won't check it
yeah,
out,
see
but
if there's one or
yeah.
two that I want to try to read because
Mhm.
who knows, they might be good.
Yeah,
Uh,
absolutely.
but I think I said it to you in chat that I'm kind of the same way. I'm not all that interested in the ancient history of the Republic. Like when the Republic was in charge, there's doesn't seem like a lot of conflict there, or I just don't know. I'd have to see it.
Yeah.
It looks like in these pictures and stuff, though, it doesn't look as radical a departure from the concept of Jedi that we all kind of know.
Yeah.
Um,
No, it does seem familiar.
Yeah, which
Yeah.
my vague memory of the first thing we saw was that it looked really different, and I wasn't sure. Like, I don't want to know if I want to see this time where the Jedi are completely different. And I mean, I know we got to get new ideas and stuff, but I'm the type
Yeah.
it's still old school. I feel like I still haven't seen enough of what I wanted to see,
Mhm.
of Jedi doing things that the Jedi were familiar with doing things. So,
Right.
but I'm a big fan of like Knights of the Old Republic video game. So if they come out with some games that have anything like that, that's a major effort though. I don't know if they're going to go that far, but
Yeah.
to do a really high quality, kind of epic game like that,
Mhm.
that would be cool. But my reaction to this is okay. I didn't
Yeah.
know what to expect. I knew nothing about it. I thought it'd be a little more polished than it was.
Mhm.
The echoey voice was a little. I think fans could have done a better job. Not criticizing the voice actor, but just the sound of
No,
it.
yeah,
It
I know what
sounded
you
kind of
Yeah.
like,
just
yeah, it was
the
like
quality of the audio.
generic sci-fi or something. And then the
Mhm.
music was totally uninspiring, kind of,
Mhm.
gaze upon the crystals, focus your inner, Yoda child.
It's like they found just some random wave files.
Yeah, which there's
Yeah.
nothing wrong with that, but it wasn't
Yeah.
like having a John Williams type thing.
Right.
Yeah, I'm kind of like you. When we first heard of this months ago, when we heard that it was mostly at that time they were describing it as novelization or novels and comic books primarily. I thought that'd be interesting, but this is just my own bias. I never was into the expanded universe with the original trilogy. I just didn't. I didn't read the books and comic books like a lot of other fans did, and I didn't even watch Clone Wars. I didn't even watch the cartoons.
Mhm.
So it was really only the original films, and now the Mandalorian television series has got me most interested. But this does look pretty cool. I mean, it looks like it might be interesting.
Mhm.
And if you're talking about how it connects maybe to one of the new television series that's coming up, where it might be most interesting to me is if it provides any foundation or background for stuff that's going to end up in the live action or maybe in the new animated series.
Mhm.
If it crosses over with any of that stuff that I'm really into, then I might find it more interesting. But I thought it was neat that it had Yoda in it, and you get a lot of different new Jedi. Maybe they'll be interesting characters in the novels.
I guess Yoda would be alive during this period.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm not absolutely sure what the
I
time
don't know
frame
the
is,
exact
but
time frame on this, but I believe it's within a couple of 100 years, I believe, of
Of
the
the
events
prequels?
in of the prequels. Yeah. of
okay.
Phantom
So you've
Menace.
still
Yeah.
got Sith around, and you've still got Yoda around, and yeah, that's
Right.
interesting. So they will have some characters to bridge the gap, kind of.
Mhm.
I think the big problem that's obvious to everyone, it doesn't make me smart to point this out, is that for Lucasfilm is that their most compelling material has to do with the Galactic Civil War era,
Yeah.
and the Empire, and Vader, and
Mhm.
they one of the things that like Gundark said that didn't hook me into the EU originally was they're kind of like incident at whatever
Right.
planet
Far
5. It's
point or
like
something.
yeah,
Yeah.
it's like it's
Yeah.
just I don't care. It sounds like they're making stuff up that, like I said, it's kind of like Han Solo washes the dishes.
Mhm.
Film at 11. I just without the Empire, without the Galactic Civil War, without those stakes, we've seen these incredible stakes in the movies.
Yeah.
Without those, it's hard wrap your mind around getting started and getting into all that. And the EU was so scattershot everywhere. There was so much stuff and so many different authors.
It was
and
all
everything.
over the place. Yeah, with
Yeah,
all
I would
various
lose
time
track of
periods and
everybody
yeah.
had their own characters. I would lose track of what they had done last by the time another book came out. And
Same here. That was always kind of what made me hesitant about the EU. I read, stuff here and there, but by no means am I that well versed in it. Obviously I like all of you. I read the Thrawn trilogy not long after that was released. I think I probably read it mid '90s, a few years after the whole thing had been released, and then I didn't really pay any attention to much else until the prequels came out. And then I cherry picked a book here and a book there. Actually, I take that back. The EU, I think the first thing all of us must have read, I don't know about you, Gundark, because you said you didn't really read them, but did you read the old Han Solo adventures?
Oh, yes, I did.
Oh, and the very first one, Splinter of the Mind's Eye. We all read that.
And Splinter of the Mind's Eye.
Yeah, we
that's
wanted any
technically the
kind of
first
Star Wars
expanded
content then,
universe.
yeah.
That was technically the first expanded universe book ever by Alan Dean Foster. But but yeah, so I remember reading that, of course, and the Han Solo adventures. I read those, but then I didn't really think until Thrawn, and then since then I just kind of cherry picked here and there, and I would go through phases where I'd read 4 or 5 books in a row, and then not read anything for 5 years, So
there was something more compelling about knowing another movie was coming. If you books
that definitely gets you more
films or comics in between films, you're motivated because the next film is coming up. In the EU, the movies were dead in the water. We thought they were never coming back.
Right.
So in a way that gave you your only Star Wars contact, but in a way it also felt fake. Like, did Lucas really look over this stuff and say, yeah, this is what it would have happened?
He really approved this.
There was some silly stuff in there, and like I said, it just didn't grab me. Like, what Star Wars needs is compelling designs and villains and stakes and all the stuff they had originally in each setting they come up with, and then of course the story, because you can get away with having kind of lackluster villains if you have some characters people care about, and if there's compelling story and action and stuff.
There's compelling motivation for these.
Something that draws people in, but they are just keep having to go back to the well, and promising us more hints of more Vader, more Empire, more, and that story's already been kind of told in a way, as far as the stakes and everything.
We know the outcome. That's the outcome. We already know how all that's going to end. But still, to me, it's still nice to kind of see these little stories that take place.
It's great.
Like, I love that time period, like between the 3 years between A New Hope and Empire. I like seeing stories that take place then, and then in the year between Empire and Return of the Jedi. But so I like that kind of stuff. Yeah, we know who dies and who lives and all that kind of stuff. So those stakes aren't there for the main characters. But I still enjoy those stories, and to me, it's like the perfect example of how that was done best was the Clone Wars. We already know what happens to all the main characters.
That took years to build as well.
But that literally it took years and
running in stride, And
I was actually just messaging with a friend of mine last night about this. We were both talking about how much more gravitas or how much more weight there's been added to watching Revenge of the Sith now. After watching Clone Wars for 7 seasons, when I go back and watch that movie now, it's like, oh, I'm looking at it through the Clone Wars. That's now the bookend of the Clone Wars, and whereas before you had nothing. You just had Attack of the Clones and then Revenge of the Sith. Now we've got 7 seasons of material that happened, so it just fleshed out those characters so much more. So that to me is the importance of the EU. That to me, when it's done right, to Greedo's point, when it's done right, that's what you can get.
It's really there to satisfy people's appetite for more stuff.
Sure, of course,
but not upset the apple cart too much. But to give it's marketing and it's money, and it's also to satisfy people that want more things. But when it's done right and they support it over years, like they did with Clone Wars, it becomes its own thing, quote unquote force. Sorry for the pun. But so I think this is going to take a lot to build, and I hope it doesn't start off faltering. I won't know until I look at it. I hope I hope that it's quality. I hope they have good authors. I hope they have good concepts. I hope they understand Star Wars enough to branch it out organically from what we know about it, so that it doesn't feel like it's clashing or too much. You got to change slowly, and draw people in with it.
Yeah. My biggest concern, I think, about all of this, and maybe part of the reason why I'm just not that excited, is that from what I understand, this is all being created by the same story group that created the sequel trilogy. So the same group that since apparently has an inability to plan anything. So
Yeah.
so that worries me as well. So
everybody
maybe
makes
going
mistakes,
into this with
though.
such low expectations, I can't help but like it. Who knows?
Everybody makes mistakes. Some are just colossally
Which is huge. Some are bigger than others. Yeah.
Some are bigger than others. But yeah, I don't know about all that. I've never been one to be too concerned about who's making stuff until I like it. Then I want to, if I like something, I want to know about who made it so I can support them and look for their other work. When I don't like it, I just move on. It's like it was harder with the sequel trilogy because that was our story. That was the official. This is it. This is what you get.
This is the end of our story that we've been watching for 40 years.
It was harder to do on that, but all this other stuff, I think it's there for whoever wants to, consume it, and if you don't want to, that's fine. But it's obviously going to take some support and a quality product, and then word of mouth on all this stuff will always dictate success or failure with Star Wars fans.
Okay, so
they need good art and villains. They need good concepts, obviously good story. But you gotta come. I didn't see any pictures in there of the bad guys or anything. That it's kind of like the Yuzan Vong or whatever. They were an interesting concept in the EU, but to me, they just didn't. I just wasn't scared of them. They look like some kind of weird, tattooed lizard biker guys or something. It's so hard to come up with villains in Star Wars.
They did show one
rooted
thing
in the Empire and Vader.
They did show one thing, and I think for some obvious reason, they only showed it very briefly. If you paid attention to the weird green tentacle thing, as they showed that weird thing, it looks like something out of some 50s sci-fi movie. And then as they were showing that picture, they said, villainy in the galaxy or something like. That's the main villain. What?
And then they had like a coup from Samurai Jack in the background of one of them too, like the smoldering eyes. And just silhouette or whatever.
Right.
It looked. I think this all goes back to the High Republic concept again, because it did look like a green plant that you could possibly smoke.
Hence the name.
Right.
Okay, so I do have one more video for us to watch. It's a 4-minute. It's called the Star Wars the High Republic announcement trailer. It's 4 minutes. I sent you guys the link if you want to cue that up.
You okay with your schedule, Gundark? Are you still with us?
That's why I wanted to go ahead and do this now. So I know
real quick. Okay,
you're on limited time with us.
All righty then. That was easy.
That's easy. That was so funny. I saw that the other night. I literally turned on the movie and I was like, oh, that's our line. That's easy. All right, everybody cued?
Yeah, High Republic announcement trailer.
Okay, everybody's on a black screen?
Yeah.
Okay, and play in 3, 2, 1, play.
Forgettable. That's what you are. I know I watched this before.
Hundreds of years. Skywalker Saga.
Oh, actual video. I like this music better. It's probably the same.
Jedi Temple.
But frightening.
Who's the adversary? This logo.
We're finding ourselves at a very exciting moment with the Skywalker saga coming to an end. We're at a place of what's next for Star Wars. One of the things we've always done is be able to use our franchise platforms to explore the creative potential in the Star Wars galaxy. And so what if publishing was more of an incubation place and bring in great talent and just let their imaginations roam free?
Interesting concept.
We put together a really unique writer's room where we had diverse voices with very different opinions about Star Wars.
We all love Star Wars, but we're all coming in from very different places.
This has been a very free environment for everybody to just throw things out there.
We've all done lots of storytelling, but this is unique and really special.
The idea that this thing has been simmering for so long.
What was the secret history of the galaxy?
Yep, that goes way back to the beginning of Star Wars.
We gave them essentially a blank slate. What would you like to tell?
For over 1,000 generations, the Jedi Knights were the guardians of peace and A line that we've been hearing since 1977. And we thought, what does that look like?
It is a golden age where there's much more peace and calm in the galaxy. So we're calling it the High Republic.
The description that we've used for the Jedi of this era is that they are the Jedi Knights of the Round Table.
But Star Wars
See, I
isn't
like
just
that.
about Jedi.
I like
We
that
will tell
too.
stories of new smugglers, new scoundrels, new bounty hunters.
The threat and the
I wish they had
tension
been more
really
like that in the
comes from
prequels.
the Republic's borders, because the Republic does not extend from one side of the galaxy to the other.
It's a bit of a Wild West new frontier. We see a different kind of Jedi that patrols the frontiers and is more of a Texas Ranger.
We're now
New Republic
bringing in
Rangers.
concept artists, illustrators, and visualists, the same way that you would when you're making a movie.
We even had Ian McKay come down and just do sketch after sketch for us. When you have the guy who designed the look for Darth Maul sketching Jedi for you, it doesn't get any cooler than this.
The scale of this initiative is really new for us. We're going to have stories for adults and teens and kids.
We're building this out simultaneously across multiple publishers. It gives us the ability to tell vast interconnected stories across multiple years. There will be a core group of heroes that will expand over time. There'll be villains.
Our main villain are the group called the Nile. We kind of like to refer to them as Space Vikings.
Their motto
that's
is,
right.
you
I
can't
remember
take it
Space
with
Vikings.
you, but we can take it from you.
Oh, hey, at least that's good for action.
Yeah.
Our story starts with what we're
I
calling
hate
the Great
negotiations.
Disaster.
It wouldn't be Star Wars without adventure. And there's definitely a series of events that will spin the galaxy into a dangerous new direction, and it'll give the opportunity for heroes to rise up.
The cool thing about this is that there's going to be a story for every Star Wars fan. It's really fun to be able to keep readers on their toes. This era is ripe for storytelling. The eureka moment.
Could they just tell us which
was
one is
the
for us?
question, what scares the Jedi? And that made us all go, ooh, something wicked this way comes.
August 2020. Okay.
That didn't work out.
No, that did not. Okay. So any different reaction to that video?
I like the idea, the comparison to Arthurian legend, if they would follow through with it.
If they follow, yeah, it's one thing to say it, it's another thing to do it. Yeah.
Yeah. I love that concept of the. I always thought the prequel Jedi were a little too complacent and, whatever you want to call it,
full of themselves.
Yeah, and clueless, and I didn't understand what they were doing half the time. Like,
well, yeah, it was their hubris that had made them basically deaf and dumb to everything that was going on around them.
And don't get me wrong, I'm glad Lucas didn't sit there and point for point explain every single thing, where the all the Jedi creed, all the how a Jedi goes from Padawan to Jedi Knight, blah blah blah. But I would have liked to. That's the stuff that interests me. I would have liked to have seen more of that.
Mm-hmm.
I would have liked to have seen more of the interaction of the Master and Padawan and the all that stuff instead of it just being kind of skimmed over. And so yeah, if they kind of go into that stuff and it resonates with me, it's all personal. Taste and everything, but I'm going to give it a chance. I think what they were saying in there was interesting enough, and it's going to be obvious. Like some of the drawings were just total cartoons.
Yeah, you could tell
and
which
some
ones were geared for the young adults and the kids versus the adult
anime fans versus literature versus So
and Claudia Gray, I noticed she spoke, so she must be one of the novelists. I really liked her Princess Leia novel.
Oh, okay.
I think it was Bloodlines. So
yeah, I didn't read that one.
She's good.
Okay.
I'm all for giving new people a chance,
Absolutely.
Not just the existing. I don't have a EU author or a Lucasfilm publishing author that I just follow. So I'm so I'm open to new stuff and new writers. Yeah. I think they could have done some cool things with some of the authors that are known out there, but they might have been too expensive or just not the way they wanted to go. But I would have liked to have seen them recruit some people whose style I know I like and everything, and who understand that Star Wars is as much fantasy as science fiction.
Absolutely. Yeah. It's
maybe some fantasy authors and it looks like it's just going to be another one of these EU type situations, kind of, with a lot of different stuff scattered everywhere, and they're just trying to inundate the world with Star Wars, everything Star Wars.
Yeah.
Which, hey, there's a double-edged sword.
Yeah, no, you're right. You're right. Yeah, I mean, again, I'll give it a chance. I just my expectations are low, but we'll see what they do with it. But yeah,
Well,
I agree with you, Greedo. Though there was some stuff in there that I found interesting enough to keep me wanting to check it out. So
if I know you, if you look around enough, you'll find something you like.
Sure.
Because you are always more open-minded than I am about new Star Wars content and media and stuff, and you're more willing to take the strengths of things and go, I liked the strengths, like for instance, Resistance. You actually
there was actually
Resistance,
enjoyed part of that. Yeah,
to me, it's a curse word basically at this point. I would pay good money to never see them go in that direction or do anything like that ever again. But you find something to enjoy and stuff.
Yeah,
like
I found enough out of it that I found it enjoyable.
Yeah. I think they'll keep a standard there. Some of it will be high quality, and there's got to be passionate people out there wanting to explore new Star Wars stories and stuff that are willing to do a great job. So yeah, we'll look into it as we have time allows, and I'm sure we'll find something. Maybe later we'll talk about, as we read some of these books, which ones we recommend, which ones we don't. Maybe we can do some reviews of these books.
That would be a good idea.
I haven't been kind of like you guys, I haven't been paying attention to this really, so maybe once we do, we can figure out what to do about it.
And I think maybe too, I'm also less apprehensive about it in the fact that I know that now we've got all this other content coming our way. So I know it's not like, okay, this is where all our cards are, all the eggs are in this basket. So it's got to be it or nothing. So at least I know we've got all this other stuff to look forward to. So at least got that as backup.
Yeah, it's like if they had broken The Last Jedi into 2 parts or something, or if there was another movie, if things hadn't been so final at the end of that movie, I would have been willing to give things another chance. Like if that movie felt like it was one of 3, we're only ever going to get these 3, and that's the end of these characters that we love, and it was so final, it felt like I didn't even want to see what happened next. I felt like that was the end of everything, like Princess Leia said in it. So I don't even know what I'm saying now, but yeah, what I'm saying is when there's something there, when there's a miss for me, I'm still willing to go on and look for the next hit.
Yeah. It's not like there's
when there's more content.
I'm done with Star Wars.
Yeah. If they announce 10 shows, obviously they're not all going to be amazing to us. Yeah. And they're not all going to be aimed at us even or anything. Right. So I'm willing to take the bad with the good and enjoy the good. It's when they don't do right by the stuff that we really cherish that it becomes difficult to support.
Agreed. Yep. So,
okay, guys. Well, I've got to take off. My army of Baby Yoda's got to head back to the spice mines at Kessel.
All right. Being held by the academics.
The demons.
Totally.
The desperate cries.
See you guys later.
All right. Take care, guys.
Crush them. All right. See ya. Maybe it's time to point out that we are not a reaction channel. I should have pointed this out at the beginning. We just do reaction videos. Obviously,
here and there,
yeah. We do more discussion than we do.
I mean, really,
we don't even know what reaction is really.
Yeah, I mean, we've been doing this podcast roughly for 3.5 years now, and we've probably done a dozen.
Yeah, it's just
a dozen reaction videos in 3.5 years. So we're not a reaction channel. You're right.
And our reaction videos turn into a lot of commentary a lot of times because you can't just go have an over the top reaction to everything. You got to be honest. And I forget we're even recording when I'm watching Star Wars stuff because I'm so interested in it. But I'm not gonna sit there and fake cry over the High Republic or whatever.
Right.
Exactly. Oh my God! I've been waiting for the 400 years before. No, it's 200. I mean the 200 years before story. I don't know. Yeah. Check with me next year when I'm waiting for the sequel or something. If I'm passionately into it, then I'm not gonna cry though.
Exactly.
Funk that. But but anyway, I expected to have a really negative reaction to that trailer, but the trailer was just kind of more of the same. And now seeing the origin and all that, I'm a little more open-minded, and I don't feel really negative.
I'm gonna check out. I'm gonna check out at some point. I'm gonna check out the launch event.
Yeah,
and see what they.
If it
explain
was a
there.
video game, I'd probably be more excited just for Star Wars. You know, I'd much rather run the characters around and chop things with my lightsaber than read about it.
And I'm sure there's probably one in the works. So
I hope so. I hope they do more Star Wars video games, because they haven't recently. LucasArts used to be such a big deal and have so many great games coming out, and so yeah. Okay, well,
all right, that's about all we've got for this time. I just want to kind of get an idea of what we're looking at coming forward or moving forward. So you guys tune in.
Let us know what you guys thought of it, and if anybody out there that subscribes to our channel and watches this, even if you sat through the whole thing, congratulations. But if you have an opinion on this stuff, books to recommend, or things that you liked about it, the content that's coming out, if you've actually read it and everything, give us some comments, recommendations. Hell, if you want to come on the podcast sometime and talk about it, let us know. We'll get you on.
Ideas.
We'll get you on and talk to you about it.
Sure. And I love the interaction, with everybody. That's one of my main things that I like about this, is getting your comments and your feedback, and just kind of having a back and forth about just Star Wars in general, whatever we happen to be talking about at the time. So.
It's a different world now, because when we were kids, we had each other, and that was about it. And we had to annoy our friends with Star Wars.
Together, we couldn't talk about it.
It wasn't. It was really popular, but it wasn't. You couldn't just randomly find all these people. That there wasn't the internet. If you brought up Star Wars, you were as likely to get snapped with a towel as you were to have any kind of positive participation. So it is a different world now, where despite all the fan negativity that's out there for different things, and has been for a while, it's still great to just have people so into this thing all together and willing to talk about it together. So we definitely look forward to hearing from you guys, and thanks for sticking it out with us, and click like and subscribe and all that good stuff if you haven't already, and we'll see you next time.
We all know around here, Solo always does shots first, singing your love, raise your glass, and sing your love, singing with your
control the force, dude. What are you doing?
At the Cantina Club.
Why make a Star Wars film to be cherished by millions when it can be cherished by hundreds?
By dozens.
Right. I guess it just makes it more special for those few people that really are into
those
it.
28 people that like it.
I'm just too stupid to get it. I gotta be honest.
No, I am as well. If I had
if I just understood Canto Bite,
if my IQ was just a little higher, I might actually.
Only the enlightenment of space horses had rained down upon me and opened my eyes, so that I had followed the concepts, the incredible concepts.
If only.
Just too dumb.
I'm just too ignorant to really grasp.
I do have the brain of an invertebrate. So
there you go. The brain of an amoeba.
An amoeba.